The shotgun is one of the most coercive weapons available on the civilian market. But despite its sheer power, it is extremely limited by one significant factor, and that is its magazine capacity. Now, there are numerous companies who try to put out various products and accessories in order to remedy this situation, but there's one company whose product really does stand above and beyond those of its competitors, and that is Nordic Components and its Nordic Components Shotgun Magazine Extension Tube. Whether your shotgun is used for competitive or defensive situations, the Nordic Tube solves that problem of limited magazine capacity in a shotgun. The Nordic Components Magazine Extension is made out of 6061 grade aircraft aluminum, and it is available for a wide variety of firearms. Although you see this +1 extension sitting on an FNH SLP here, it's also available for Benellis, Berettas, Brownings, CZs, Mossbergs, Remingtons, Stogers, Winchesters, and again, the FN model shotguns. Now, when you order the kit from Nordic Components, you're going to receive the magazine tube extension nut, the magazine tube itself, and on models other than the +1 model, you'll be getting a tube end cap as well. Also in the kit is going to be a new magazine spring for your shotgun. Now, Nordic sends these springs uncut. That means they're extremely long and they're designed for you to specifically cut down and tune to your specific firearm. Now, there's no exact science to how to do that, but I typically like to end up leaving between 8 and 12 inches of coil when the spring is uncompressed sitting out of the tube in my shotgun. There are literally thousands of aftermarket products on the market today for you, the end user, to sift through and figure out just what exactly you do and don't need when it comes to upgrading and outfitting your weapons. The magazine extension tube is one of those products that you actually do really need if you want to be able to run your weapon to its full capability and capacity. Typically, when we purchase a weapon from the factory, such as this Benelli Nova, we're going to have a magazine capacity of anywhere between 3+1 to 6 or maybe 7+1 rounds if you're really lucky. But this is rare, and typically you're going to have a capacity that's extremely low. Now, if we translate what this means into the competitive environment, shotgun stages are typically won and lost based on how fast you can reload the gun. If you're starting with a gun which, in comparison to someone who uses an extension tube, is actually downloaded, you're having to load even more on any given stage, which means that you really are significantly hampered in your ability to compete. Moving forward, and talking about magazine capacity of a shotgun as it relates to a defensive or law enforcement capacity, we'll note that when you grab a gun to employ in this fashion, the ammunition that you have in the tube or attached to the shotgun via a side saddle is typically going to be all of the ammo that you carry into that fight. It's very rare that you'll have extra time to throw any ammunition on your belt or get set up for it. In some cases, you might be able to get some extra ammo thrown in a pocket, but even if this is the case, reloading a shotgun requires a significant amount of training. It is not the same as reloading an AR-15. If we're able to limit the amount of reloads required in a gunfight via a magazine extension, we're drastically increasing the capability of that shotgun in terms of its utilization in that fight. The Nordic extension tubes are available for anywhere between +1 round up to +8 rounds of extension on any given platform. One thing to think about, though, before we go off and purchase our extension is the purchase of a few extra shotgun magazine springs. And that is based on the fact that when you get the spring, it is not tuned for your specific shotgun or your specific extension length. As we mentioned before, you do have to do the tuning yourself. That's not a problem. It's very easy to do. It's just a matter of cutting the coils and figuring out what works. With that said, it's not a bad idea to find the failure limit of your spring. So cut it down to its failure limit, find where it fails, and then have a second spring to cut down far away from that failure limit so you're not pushing the threshold of reliability when it comes to feeding from the magazine. It's also important to note that shotgun magazine tube springs do wear out pretty fast. I'll typically change mine once a year with the number of rounds that I put down range through the shotgun, so having a few extra on hand isn't a problem. The Nordic extension tube is one of those products which really wows you when you get a chance to run it over an extended period of time. It has incredible durability, and it is incredibly efficient, specifically at its price point, for really improving the capabilities of either your competition or defensive setup shotgun. Hope you guys found this video informative. Find us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube, and until next time, stay gunfighter strong.